Good morning. Welcome in to my home this morning. I had to clean out the wood stove box so that I could get a fire going. It is a chilly one here this morning in the Eastern Sierras. My outdoor thermometer was reading 40 when I went out to get the ash bucket and to restock the wood. I've got plenty of wood in for the day. Got the fire box all cleaned out, ready to go. I'm gonna make some breakfast real quick, some hash brown potatoes and an egg. Then I'm gonna get my potato leek soup started. We're gonna have that for dinner. And I do have to go run to town this afternoon. I picked my oldest two grandkids up at school at 3:15, and I think I might stop and do a couple of errands along the way. I want to get a chain or look and see if I can find a chain, go to the jeweler and see if I can find a nice sturdy chain for that mountain scene pendant that I showed you in my last video. Drop my wedding ring off just to get checked and cleaned. I like to check the prongs on that from time to time. And I've got a gift certificate my husband gave me for my birthday to Eastside Sports. I've been looking for a Patagonia vest, but apparently they sell out as quick as they get them in, and I just didn't really want to order one because I'm not that patient. I've been really hooked on these little hash brown potatoes. I get them at the grocery outlet and they are so good. I've even bought the more expensive ones at the grocery store at Vaughn's or such, and I didn't like them as well. So these are just Linden Farms O'Brien potatoes. So I just heat up a few of those for breakfast. Yesterday I threw some cheese on, which was really good. I think I'll do that again. And today I'm going to add an egg to my breakfast. So anywho, I just let these cook down, brown up. They only take a few minutes. All right, it's time to get this potato leek soup going. So I've rinsed the leeks really good. In case you've never done leeks before, you've got a green, and they're just like a really big green onion. But unlike a green onion, you don't want to use the white end. You just kind of want to use the root end, but you want to cut them apart and rinse them really good because they're always full of dirt. So I just cut mine down to the best of the leeks and soaked them in cold water for quite a while and got all the dirt out, drained it, rinsed them and drained them. So now I'm ready to get these chopped up. I've got my potatoes peeled but not chopped. We'll do that together. Then I'll bring my Ninja cooking system over. That's what I chose to cook in today because I can saute my leeks and just set it on slow cook while I go to town for a few hours. And then when I come back, I can mash it up or do whatever I need to do at that point. So let's get to cutting these leeks and get our soup going. So I'm setting my stovetop, or setting my Ninja cooking system onto the stovetop setting on high, just to go ahead and start building my layers. We're gonna put a couple tablespoons of butter in for the leeks. So here's my lineup of ingredients. I've got my chicken broth, some dehydrated chopped onions, some garlic, granulated garlic, salt, pepper, parsley, bay leaves, some garlic, and parsley if I didn't say that. So just thought I'd kind of wing you over there and show you that since it's not in the main frame of the camera. Oftentimes when I'm sauteing with butter, whether it's vegetables, meat, whatever it happens to be, a lot of times I'll put in just a little bit of olive oil as well. Not too much, but just a little bit. I think it gives it a nice balance of flavor, and it actually brings down the smoking point of the butter because the butter has a much lower smoking point than does the olive oil. Looking good. Garlic ready, and throwing our potatoes, our seasonings, our liquid, throwing a little bit of garlic. Let that just barely cook. Just till you can smell it, because you don't want to burn your garlic. Garlic will get fragrant very quickly. And let your nose tell you. Now I'm going to add in the chicken broth so that the garlic doesn't burn. I'm going to do the whole thing to start. Let's throw in our potatoes. Peeled, chopped, and rinsed. Give those a good stir. I'm going to leave it on stovetop high till I can bring it to a boil. I want to do that before I set it to simmering. I'm going to go ahead and just add some salt, about that much. I'd say that's a little over a teaspoon maybe. Some fresh ground cracked pepper. About that much. Eyeball it. That's what I usually do. Little bit of chopped onion. This is the Costco, the Kirkland. That's about maybe a quarter of a cup. Not too much, just a little. Just enough. And then now some parsley. Let's get rid of that lid because that'll take forever. Just a little bit of parsley in there for some color. And give it a little stir. We'll pop in our bay leaves. I may add a little bit of water to this once it gets to boiling because these potatoes, of course, will thicken up upon cooking. But for right now, let's pop the lid on, let it come to a boil, and we'll take a look at it before we turn it down to a slow cook. Oh yeah. So I've gone ahead and done a couple chores and cleaned up my kitchen, did my dishes, got everything set out for dinner so that when I get home, all I've got to do is finish up the soup and grill some garlic bread, and hopefully it will be delicious. But it is definitely starting to come to a boil. So now I'm just going to go ahead, set my slow cooker to low, which sets it to 8 hours. Let it just slow cook all afternoon, and when I get home, we'll take a look at it. So I'm on my way to drop off a utility bill at our local utility box here, and it is a cold one out, you guys. It's 41 degrees. And we've chilly one here today. I've got my have my heated steering wheel on. I have my heat warmer on, my seat warmer. Plus I have my hat if I need it, my gloves if I need it, my scarf. So I'm nice and toasty in my little car. So we're gonna drop this payment off and we're gonna head to town, head to Bishop and run a couple errands. I'm excited. I hope I can find that chain that I'm hoping to find. Hope they have something. We only have one jeweler here in town anymore, and we don't even have Kmart or Walmart or anything like that for an option, so pretty limited. All right, I'll drop this off and I'll be right back. That's one of the two bills. Ooh, seat's getting hot already. That's one of the two bills that actually I'm getting hot with this on. Hot, cold, hot, cold. That's a medication thing. Tell you about that. I've got a lot of new viewers, new subscribers that may not know. Give them a little bit of my backstory just for a quick minute while we're driving. Yeah, but that's only two bills. I've got this one and then another local one that I drop off, and I could pay that online, but I've just really had trouble. I don't know, there's something about either that site or something that I set up initially just really gives me trouble, and it's usually right on my way to town, so it's not a problem to drop it off once a month. But I may try to get that squared around so that, and I almost think this one I might be able to pay online now. I need to look into that, because if that's the case, then I will do everything online or automatic, and that makes it super easy. So yeah, what I wanted to, I get really hot, then I get really cold, but that's just a medication thing. For my new subscribers and viewers that haven't watched very many of my other videos, was last year in 2021 an 8-year stage 3C breast cancer survivor, and then I got real ill toward the end of 2020, and it was then later diagnosed that my breast cancer had metastasized. So I'm now a stage 4 metastatic breast cancer patient that the cancer metastasized to the lining of my abdomen, which is very, very rare. And one of my symptoms, or one of the problems I was having, was that I was losing weight so rapidly because I was in so much pain and I couldn't eat, I couldn't keep anything down. So through a series of tests, with the help of my oncology team and some gastroenterologist team that I've had, it was determined that the breast cancer had metastasized to the lining of the abdomen. So that was about, I think I started on my oral chemo in May. So I've been doing it. I do a 21-day on and 7-day off cycle. So I do 21 days on chemotherapy and 7 days off. And sometimes I just really get to feeling kind of punky, and the last 2 days I just did not feel good. Cut down that glare from my sunroof. Yeah, I just did not feel good at all. But I'm feeling much better today. I have to accept the fact that you can hear the wind outside. I have to accept the fact that, and that is just part of any sort of journey, any kind of treatment you're doing, whether it's cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, no matter what it is. There's good days and there's bad days, and You just have to write out the bad ones and appreciate the good ones, and that's what I tried. All right, guys. I had one very successful, actually 2 very successful stops. Let me show you. Might not let me zoom in. So I went to the jeweler's and I found a really nice chain with a nice clasp and a nice, I don't know what they call that they had to put it on. But anyway, the guy went through about 2 or 3 chains with me, and we determined this would be the best one because I am a little hard on chains, and it's exactly what I was looking for like $18. Can't beat that. They cleaned my ring, checked my prongs, everything was good. I do have a crack in my diamond, but I've had that for a long time. So he cleaned it really good, prongs were good, so that's good for now. And one more thing I want to show you. I decided, excuse me, to eat healthy. So I thwarted my craving for Taco Bell, and I went to Great Basin Bakery right next to the jeweler, and I got a Mount Tom turkey sandwich. So let's take a look at that. I can't say I've never had their sandwiches, but I haven't had one in a while. So this is turkey, sun-dried tomatoes, lettuce, red onion, and I got it on multigrain bread. I could have gotten it on sourdough or multigrain, and I chose multigrain just because I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier than I have been, and so this was my lunch choice today. So let's take a bite and see how it is. That's really good. I love turkey and avocado together and red onion. I probably wouldn't have thought of the sun-dried tomatoes, but it's really very good. It gives it a little bit of a sweet punch to it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish eating my lunch, and gosh, the wind is just whipping out there. Can you hear it? So yeah, let me finish eating my lunch and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, all in all, it was a pretty successful day. I'm on my way home now. Just left my daughter and son-in-law's house. Got Gavin and Harper picked up. Got them home. Of course, you know, kids are always hungry when you pick them up from school. So got everybody snacks and refreshments, and the sun is bright and setting right over there over the mountains. So now they're off to, Harper has roller hockey practice and Gavin has ice hockey practice up in Mammoth. So yep, busy, busy, busy. I remember when we were that way when the kids were young. I couldn't do it now, that's for sure. I wouldn't have the energy. But yeah, so as far as the vest, went to Eastside Sports, still no puffy vests. So I'm just gonna keep looking, hang on to my gift certificate until they get some in. I could have asked if they were gonna get any in, but I don't know. One lady was kind of busy and the other lady was busy doing something else, and wasn't that big a deal. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just check back. Maybe they'll get them in towards springtime. I know they said during the holidays they were like the hot sellers, and they just were selling left and right. And so maybe once we get closer to spring and the weather, you know, warmer weather, maybe they'll get some vests in then and I can snag one. So anyway, I'm on my way home, and I'm gonna finish up our I left my filming stand up, so I'm gonna finish our potato soup, and so I'll put my camera up while I do that. Just got some frozen garlic bread. I might put a little bit of shredded cheese on it to melt it. Sorry, I'm going back this direction again. Sun sets right here over our Eastern Sierra Mountains, and it's quite bright while it sets. So yeah, got I always tease my daughter and tell her that's my Uber job. Got my Uber job done for this week. I just pick them up on Wednesdays with their work schedules. If you guys are watching this, came from the GeoPro or the Rockwood channel, my oldest daughter and her husband sold their bigger. They had a Springdale bunkhouse, a 28 foot, and they sold theirs right after we sold our Jayco 28 RLS. And they bought they have a Tundra, and they needed a little bit bigger. The GeoPro was just a little too small for what they wanted and what they needed. So they bought ordered it up in Utah, much better price than California, Nevada. They bought a, pay attention because there's a big truck coming. Car coming that, you know, I hate when people can see that you're trying to get out into the outer lane and they don't change lanes. I always do. You know, if I see that somebody's coming and they're trying to, you know, merge out onto the highway, I always move over if I can so that they can. We're going to be in the shadows here in a minute. In fact, it'll probably be shadowed now most of the way from the mountains. Here in just about 2 seconds. Yeah, they bought a maybe a few more seconds. Maybe now. There we go. They bought a 2022 Rockwood. Let me think. I don't know why I'm going blank on it. A Rockwood Ultralight, that's the 2509S, 259S. So they'll have the slide, they have the Murphy bed just like we do. In fact, I was watching a new video that dealership put out just recently. This morning I watched it on YouTube, and it looks like they have the same interior color. The Newport ash is what the cabinetry is. That's the same as ours. And then they have the same upholstery, which I think is called sand. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, if I remember correctly. But they'll have the slide with the dinette. Getting hot. They'll have the slide with the dinette and the bunks. So that'll be nice for them. So yeah, so hopefully they will have theirs, we're hoping by about next month, maybe February, March, end of February, March. They said they got a call from the dealership, and three of the four people that were ahead of them got their units. So they should be in the next shipment, they're hoping. I don't know how frequently their shipments come in, but yeah, so they should be getting theirs soon. And then they have some other trips planned with some friends, and then we usually do some impromptu, you know, now that we're back to camping and COVID things have eased up and such. But we have a trip planned with them and some of their friends that are friends of ours as well, to Garden City, Utah, the last week of July, first week of August, So I'm really excited about that. I've never been to Utah before, and my mom loved, I think her and my dad went to, is it Bryce Canyon? Years and years and years ago on vacation. And she said it was one of the most beautiful places she'd ever seen. And so ever since then, I've always wanted to go and see Utah. Our kids have gone 2 years in a row. I think they've gone in the summer for vacation. We were going to go last year. They were more southern Utah. But that's when I was really sick and we had to cancel. We couldn't go, so that was a real bummer. Yeah, they were lower. Where were they? I can't remember. But anyway, this year we're going to be up the northeastern part of Utah in Garden City and on Bear Lake. So I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to doing some photography, some videography up there. If you're familiar with that, let me know. It's all new to me. But yeah, anyway, I'm almost home, so thanks for listening to me and rambling on. And when you're good company, you keep me company when I'm driving, which is nice. When I get home, I'm going to finish that soup up, cook the garlic bread. I'll put in a snapshot of it being done. As I told you earlier, it really isn't any particular recipe. I just that's how I cook a lot of the time. I just throw things together and just cook. Oh, and I'm excited too. Gosh, you guys, let me get a drink of water real quick. I'm so excited that the Winter Olympics are starting tomorrow. I love the Winter Olympics. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to try to get all my housework done first thing in the morning. I didn't get really any of it done today, but I'm going to get rolling real early in the morning, get all my housework done so that I can be ready. We're going to have a super simple dinner tomorrow night, just chili dogs, simple as it gets, so that I can watch the opening ceremonies. I think they start at 5 o'clock our time. I'm pretty sure it's 5 o'clock our time. So I'm going to leave you with a pretty shot of the mountains, and I'll see you in a little bit. So yeah, this is what I come home to when I come home every day. Isn't that beautiful? I love the Eastern Sierras. It's home. So yep, just thought I'd share that pretty little piece of heaven with you there, and I'll see you soon. All right, so I'm back home. All right, guys, so Max and I will leave you with this. Thanks for hanging with us today. Take good care, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on another adventure very soon. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you do not miss any of our future uploads and adventures. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging with me today. Take good care. See you very soon.